With modern metal bands, fiendishly dark lyrics and music are a given. But in the early 1970s, America was hardly ready for the groundbreaking performances of Vincent Damon Furnier, America's most notorious outsider, better known as Alice Cooper.
Nobody ever tried to do what Alice did. Nobody ever tried to be this sort of bizarre vaudevillian character. Alice Cooper believed fast cars, blondes, switchblades, sensationalism. We wanted to be the National Enquirer of rock and roll. There are so many rock heroes. We need a rock villain. I want to be the rock villain.
Alice Cooper grew up on horror movies as much as grew up on rock and roll. He was the combination of Bela Lugosi, Chuck Berry, Vincent Price, and everything that actually led up to the formation of the Alice Cooper Band.
I want to be the personified Captain Hook of rock. I don't want to be Peter Pan. I want to be Snidely Whiplash. I want to be the guy that wants the rent money. And I enjoyed playing the heavy. We fashioned a lot of Alice Cooper under the Bette Davis character in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. That makeup she wore, the smeared makeup, that's where I got that. Because there was something just so creepy about her.
Cooper took the dark sounds and lyrics of British metal a step further. His notorious Billion Dollar Babies tour in 1973 was a perverse pop culture horror show laced with violence, necrophilia, and dead babies.
We were trying to create something that hadn't been done. And what hadn't been done was nobody had taken the lyrics and brought them to life. If you had a lyric like Dead Babies, with Alice, there's just no two ways about it. You have to show the audience that, not just sing about it. You use the stage as a canvas, and you bring it to life.
Going to a concert became something more than like a bunch of guys on stage playing their songs. Once those doors shut on the arena, it does like turn into hell.
Heavy metal's always been about horror. If it was to be classified in the same way as we classify books or movies, heavy metal would fit in the horror section.
An alienated young person is drawn to things that are dark. You're going through terrible transitions of being a teenager or whatever, and darkness feels real good to you.
I'm attracted to the evil. Period. You know, I always was as a kid. You know, I was like, you know, the worst stuff I could find, I'm like, that's what I want to buy.
Some people take comfort in fluffy bunnies during adolescence. Some people like to take out the vivid, technicolor, violent fantasies and draw them on the back of exercise books. And then one day a band comes along that kids just go, that's exactly what I'm feeling now!
I remember one time I was watching TV with my dad, and I must have been about 15 or 16 years old, and Alice Cooper was on TV, and you know, and I'm sitting there watching, my dad's sitting next to me, and I have no idea what's going through his head, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden I hear this voice, and it's my dad, and he looks over at me like this, and he's talking through his teeth like this, and he's really mad, you know, and he looks over at me, he goes, if you ever look like that, I will kill you. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, Dad, wait till they get a load of me.
My reputation sort of precedes me, you know, as far as killing chickens and biting people's heads off and killing babies. I never did that, for one thing.
Have you
Colonel Sanders kills chickens. I don't know. We always had the taste not to do any language, bad language on stage, or no nudity, because that was too cheap, too easy. To us, that was like, well, that gives it all away. You know, what you do is you suggest. If you just suggest, then you don't have to do it. Our stage show was as bizarre as it could get, but I always saw it as being fun. In fact, Groucho Marx loved the show because he saw the burlesque in it. He brought Mae West to one of the shows. Mae West and Groucho Marx watching an Alice Cooper show. And neither one of them were fazed at all. The audience was going, Groucho Marx. I'm looking for the sign. I see Groucho Marx and Mae West going, it's good vaudeville.
Heavy metal learned a valuable lesson. Shock sells. Alice Cooper's formula is still followed to this day, evident not only in stage shows, but also in lyrics, music videos, and album covers.
The idea of opening the commercial floodgates of theatricality to rock and roll was something that I think we were responsible for. You're so far out on the limb when you're Alice Cooper that you're either going to be the biggest idiot of all time, or you're going to be considered like a groundbreaking genius, you know.
Every time I'll see somebody do something, I go, you can find some old concert of Alice and go, look, he already did it. You completely ripped him off. He did everything first. It's sickening.